Here you go, Travis. So good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first ordinary meeting for 2024. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land on which we are meeting this evening and pay my respects to their elders and the elders of the other communities that may be here this evening. Thank you. Receipt of apologies. We have one from Councillor Stewart. That's
correct, ma'am.
Thank you. Confirmation of minutes of previous. Actually, before we start, I should ask Bronwyn, you can see and hear everybody?
I can, thank you very much.
See and hear you, thank you. Confirmation of minutes of previous meeting. Council have a recommendation that council adopt the minutes of the council meeting held on Wednesday, 13th of December 2023, and council adopt the minutes of the council meeting held on Thursday, 21st of December 2023. Could I get a mover and a seconder for those, please? Councillor Milne and Councillor Hogan, a seconder. Any discussion?
No, thank you.
Those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. On the 4, request of leave of absence, of which I don't have any.
There are none, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5, declaration of pecuniary and conflict of interest. In accordance with section 132 of the Local Government Act 2020, councillors who have a conflict of interest in respect to a matter being considered at this meeting must A, disclose the conflict of interest in the matter required by the Council's Governance Rules 2020, and A, exclude themselves from the decision-making process in relation to this matter, including any discussion or vote on the matter at any council meeting, delegated committee, and any action in relation to this matter. Disclosures must occur immediately before the matter. Councillors, any conflict of interest this evening?
I'm unaware of, thank you.
Thank you. Questions from the public? We have nil.
Correct, Mayor. Thank you.
That's good. Takes us to item 7, procedural items. Correspondence initiated by council, the office of the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, there's a record of some correspondence initiated by us and some responses that we received from respective ministers and MPs. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Council's recommendation that council note the record of correspondence initiated by the council and the responses received. I'll get a mover and a seconder for that, please.
Yeah,
Councillor seconder. Councillor Pollard, any discussion, Councillor Mill?
you just doing it now.
Councillor Pollard? No. Any other councillors? All those in favour? Yes, that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.2, report of councillor assemblies. Again, the office of the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, procedural report. Recommendation of the council note the report of council assembly meetings held on the 6th of December 2023. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Council's recommendation the council note the report of councillor assembly meeting held 6th of December 2023. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Warren, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Simpson, I think your finger went up. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favour?
Yep.
Yeah, carried. Thank you. Uh, 7.3, letters of congratulations and recognition of achievement awards. Again, the office of the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, in front of you, councillors, is a particularly impressive list of local community members who we would like to acknowledge for awards and achievements that they've made over the recent months. There's a recommendation before you, councillors. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. Councillors have recommendation that council acknowledge and congratulate the persons and or groups mentioned in the report for their achievements. Move in a second. That please.
Happy to move.
Councillor Hogan, a second. Councillor Milne. Any discussion?
Yes, if I can, please. Just an acknowledgement that
with Elliot Bishop's nomination there, we obviously forgot to nominate him or congratulate him when he was first nominated into Haywire, as we did with one or two other nominations. So, but hopefully this makes up for that.
Thank you. Councillor Hayden.
No, just some very worthy recipients of these
Councillor
awards.
Simpson.
I'm asking that we could include Joy Freeman and Gary Lamour as being the inaugural recipients of the Keys to Charlton for their ongoing service to the community of Charlton since they received their citizenships, in some cases more than 10 years ago.
Thank you. Happy to add that.
Just go back to the move and second amendment.
Are you happy to
Yes, I'm
accept that?
happy to accept that amendment.
And Councillor Moore.
Also happy to accept.
So with that addition, and the vote, so all those in favour?
Yep.
That's carried. Thank you. 7.4, status of action of past council meetings and resolution. Again, the office of the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, a procedural report again, update on actions undertaken on the resolutions from previous council meetings, Mayor. There's a recommendation for councillors for their consideration.
Thank you. So council got a recommendation that council note the status of action report for council resolutions documented on this list. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please?
I can move that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Pollard, a seconder. Councillor Mills.
Happy to do that.
Thank you. Any discussion, Councillor Pollard?
No, we're only noting the information.
Yeah. Councillor Mills.
No, I'm happy to also, thank you.
All those in favour? Yeah, that's carried. Thank you. Seven point five, planning applications receive monthly update, community development. I would think that would be you.
Mrs. Allen.
Thank you, Mayor, and through you, Council, this report provides information on planning applications under consideration by staff and the status of each of these applications.
Thank you very much. Council's got a recommendation that council note information contained in the report on planning applications under consideration by staff and the status of each of these applications. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Hogan and a seconder.
Second that, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Pollard. Any discussion, Councillor Hogan?
No, I think that there's all as is, as noted.
There is noted.
Through the chair. I noticed with interest last weekend at Charles, I think, there was a thing called the Redback Rally. I think it's been an event that's been on for some considerable year. Correct. Going through the planning applications of late, and I don't see any planning application therein contained for such event. My understanding is that events on private property, where the change of the land changes, require a planning permit. And also probably a place of public entertainment. Just I wonder if you could take on notice, maybe follow up and see if such a permit has been issued and such an application made to our planning department.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Warren. Yes, we take that on notice if we may, and we'll just understand the nature of the event and if there are any planning permit triggers that are associated to it, as well as for the place of public entertainment permit as well.
With that, we move in second. All those in favour?
Yep.
Yeah, that's carried. Thank you. 7.6, building permit monthly update. Mrs. Allen, I believe that will be you again.
Thank you, Mayor, and through you, councillors, this is your standard monthly report providing information on building permits approved for the months of December and January for your notice.
Thank you. Council's got a recommendation that council note the information contained in the report on building permits approved by staff from 1 December 2023 to 31 January 2024. Could I get a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Hogan and a seconder.
Happy
Councillor
to
Bill.
second.
Any discussion at all?
Just a clarification question, sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm happy
Councillor
to
Bill.
receive as noted.
With the demolition of building High Street, obviously there at the post office.
Through the mayor, that would be my understanding that it would be the demolition for that.
Well, I meant to go back and look at it, but, so what happens in the first instance that triggers that demolition process? I mean, obviously it's a safety concern.
Yes.
Who makes that call?
Well, certainly the municipal building surveyor would make the first call on whether the building is safe or not. Then subject to that, then the owner of that land has then made a decision to demolish that structure, that building, ahead of, I understand that they are going to construct another building there to conduct their operations from. So in the first instance, they need a permit to be able to demolish it, to make sure it's done safely, etc. So.
And the purpose of the question is to answer a couple of queries from residents who just wanted to know whether there was an opportunity to save the front of the building, or whether that was never considered or wasn't possible to save.
Through the mayor, it's my understanding that it was considered as whether it could be done, but structural engineers have assessed the building and deemed that it was not possible.
Thank you very much. That will answer their question.
Anything further? All those in favour? Again, that's carried. Thank you. 8.1 policy report. We have nil. 8.2.1. We have draft audit and risk committee meeting minutes, 6th of December 2023. And I believe that would be you, Mr. Fitzgibbon.
It is, thank you, Mayor. And through you, councillors, this report provides council with the confirmed minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee meeting held on 6th December 2023. It is, of course, worth noting that there has been a subsequent ARC meeting held here on February 7th. The confirmed minutes of that meeting will come to council in due course. This report comes to you for your noting.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzgibbon. Council, I've got a recommendation that council note the confirmed minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee meeting held on the 6th of December 2023. Could I get a mover and a seconder, please?
Happy to move
Councillor
that.
Hogan and a seconder. Councillor Pollard, any discussion, Councillor Hogan?
No, the minutes are as I recall the meeting.
Yeah, Councillor Pollard?
No.
Any other councillor? No. All those in favour? Yes, that's carried. Thank you. Thank you. 8.2.2 community grants. This is Ellen. I believe this would be you.
Please, thank you, Mayor, and through you, councillors, this report outlines community grants applications recommended under the community grants process. As per council's guidelines, each application is assessed by an assessment panel, and all three are for project support. Council, tonight we bring you this community grants report for your consideration.
I'm the treasurer of that.
Okay. Mayor, through you, there's just a realisation that we in fact have a conflict here
We do.
that you would need to declare at this point, and then leave the chamber, and we would ask the deputy mayor to assume the chair.
Right, yeah. Councillors, I'm going to declare a conflict of interest in one. I just see that there's one there being auspiced by a group that I am the treasurer of, so I will declare a conflict of interest and leave. Councillor Simpson, I'll have to get you to present 8.2.2, please.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting to have to do this remotely. So the recommendation is that council consider the following allocation of funds under the Community Grants Program. $2,000 to explore Buloke bus trips by the Charlton Neighbourhood House Incorporated. $2,000 to the Mallee Hart Street Art Festival, Birchip Community Forum Incorporated, and $2,000 to the performance by synchronised swimming group The Clams for the Charlton Forum Incorporated, auspiced for the Charlton Chamber of Commerce. Do we have a? I'm a bit lost. Do we have any?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. If you call for a mover and seconder at this stage.
Thank you. So could I have somebody to move that?
I can move that.
Thank you, Councillor Pollard, and a seconder.
Yeah, happy to do that.
Thank you, councillor Milne. Do we have any discussion? Councillor Pollard?
No, I'm just happy that there's 3 groups that have applied for the grant funding and they're all compliant, so I think while we've got money in the pool that they should be receiving it, so to speak.
And councillor Milne?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. My question, I guess, is to Ms Allen with regard to what other applications are in, and I've got no doubt there's a few, and can we expect to see them at our next meeting?
So we've done a thorough search. Any other grant applications that we've received have been addressed, and the groups haven't come back to us with the information that we need to complete the grant, to assess the grant. So all grants within this report are up to date.
Yep, all right. An offline discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, councillors. Can I call for a vote? Those in favour?
Yep.
And those against? Carried.
Deputy
Thank
Mayor,
you.
excuse me, if I could just clarify your vote there, please, as well. Are you voting for
sorry,
or against
yes.
the vote?
4, thank you.
Thank you. And Mayor, through you, as you come back into the chamber, just to confirm with you that council has voted to the motion as it was recommended in the papers.
Thank you. Thank you, councillor Simpson.
Thank you.
8.2.3, Visitor Economy Partnership. It does say the office of the CEO, but I'm asking that councillor Milne present this evening, as he's been heavily involved in this from the start.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and thank you for the opportunity to present this to the council. This is a recommendation to do with Wimmera Tourism to become partners with Grampians Tourism and form a new visitor economy partnership called Grampians Wimmera Visitor Economy Partnership. And there's a list of recommendations here that asked to authorise the Chief Executive Officer to join the Grampians Wimmera Visitor Economy Partnership, which will be recognised Visitor Economy Partnership for the region. And subject to Council's budgetary process, allocate a financial contribution of $15,000 for the 2004, 2005 and 2005-2006 years to the Grampians Wimmera Visitor Economy Partnership, and note that the funding allocation for 23-24 financial year was allocated from Wimmera Tourism to the new Visitor Economy Partnership, and increased to anticipate the change. And for note that the Wimmera Destination Management Plan, once developed, will be the key strategic document for the future entity to deliver, which will be informed by the Wimmera Tourism Strategy 22-27.
Thank you, councillor Milne.
I'll put that.
We have a recommendation, as councillor Milne has read, that we adopt that. Could I move it, please? Councillor Milne, thank you. And a seconder?
I'm happy to second.
Councillor Hogan. Any further discussion, councillor?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. It's something that we were briefed on to those that were available last briefing. But it is basically, for those that weren't there, the first step in forming the new Visitor Economy Partnership. There was a whole lot of recommendations that came out from the government a number of years ago, probably back as far as 2019. This process started, and it's taken a while to get through with COVID and other things that have got in the way. But I guess it's the new way that the government wants to do business in tourism, and we see it as a great opportunity to further our cause as Wimmera Tourism, who wasn't affiliated with anybody, so to speak, as far as tourism bodies, and as a result, we weren't funded And this will give us opportunity to join in and join with the Grampians group, which will give us four of their shires and 4 of our shires to make 8 in the group. And as you would have read in the notes here, there are a number of funding discussions that have been put and accepted. And I guess if anybody has any other questions on this, it should be well and truly explained in those notes. But happy to try and explain anything now if people require.
Thank you, Councillor Hogan.
It was a really good presentation by at the briefing, and I'd like to just reiterate that it is only a pilot program for the next 2 years, so this isn't an ongoing funding requirement at this stage. We just have to see how that goes, and it's also a significant tourism funding opportunity for a small council like ours to be a part of in the future. And it needs to be stressed that the board that's going to be running the programs is a schools-based board, so we've got access to some very good marketing and tourism skills within that board. It was a very positive presentation. Pretty impressed with it, actually.
Thanks, Councillor. Any other councillor comments? Councillor.
Just as a reply and further information, Mr. Mayor, I've been asked by a couple of members of the current Coomera Valley Tourism Board just to have noted that while we commend our CEOs, and there's going to be a part, I guess, but while we commend our CEOs for the negotiation to this point, as a board, we are disappointed that we couldn't have 4 CEOs on the current board for the trial period as opposed to 1. And that's one main item that's a bit of a sticking point with the current Coomera Valley Tourism Board. It's not a deal breaker because it is a trial, and our aim is to try and get further more representation on the eventual board when it happens. So on behalf of Coomera Valley Tourism, I'll put that point and I'll that note if it can be, please.
Thank you, Councillor Milne. No further comment. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Thank you.
Thank you, fellows and girls.
8.3.1 Financial Report as at 31st December 2023. Corporate and organisation would be you, Mr. Fitzgibbon.
Thank you, Mayor. And again, through you, councillors, this report presents to council the financial reports for the period ended 31 December 2023. The year-end surplus in the 2023-2024 adopted budget was $6.2 million. The current forecasted year-end surplus for the financial year is $3.4 million, anticipating no significant capital project delays impacting that capital grant income recognition. This report was also considered at last week's Audit and Risk Committee meeting. The financial report comes to you for noting. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzgibbon. Councillors have a recommendation that council receive and notes the financial performance report for the period ending 31 December 2023, receives and note the capital works statement for the period ending 31 December 2023, consisting of the carry forward projects and the current financial year capital projects. And 3, notes the statement of the Chief Executive Officer that revised budget will not be required for the 2023-2024 financial year. Councillor, should I have a mover, please? Councillor Hogan and a seconder. Councillor Pollard, any discussion with Councillor Hogan?
I think it's worth noting that from the Audit Committee meeting last week, that the Audit Committee noted that it was a very comprehensively prepared report, and they were very happy with the state of all of the different parts, and they noted that it was very good that basically it had come in on budget within the date. So yeah, it was noted that they did express positive commendation for the report.
Thank you, Councillor Hogan. Councillor Pollard.
No, I don't have any comment. I was just going to ask a question. How did the Audit Committee feel? And I think it was answered before I asked it.
But that's it. I think we got the answer from Councillor Hogan. Councillor Milne.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just I guess an observation that the Audit Committee did suggest that it was a comprehensive report, and I guess we probably need that, given that we only get 3 or 4 of these a year now. We don't get them every month. So it is, it's just something that's required. It's a very good report that takes in everything, can be easily read, can be easily understood, and I think this does hit the mark on that. So I think it's a necessity that reports like this come in the finance department in the future because of that gap in hearing. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Milne, any other councillors? All those in favour? Against? That motion is carried. Thank you. 8.4.1 Council Plan 2021-2025 Year 3 Annual Plan Review. Mrs. Allen, I believe this will be you again.
Thank you, Mayor, and through you, councillors, the purpose of this report is to update you on the actions taken against the council plan 2021 to 2025, Year 3 Annual Plan, with commentary against the status of each of these actions. Councillors, tonight we bring you the quarterly report on the annual plan Year 3.
Thank you, Mrs. Allen. Council have a recommendation that Council note the progress made to deliver the strategic objectives noted in the Year 3 Annual Plan for the Buloke Council Plan 2021-2025. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Simpson has moved that. Councillor Milne, second.
Yep, have a second.
Thank you. Councillor Simpson, any discussion?
Only to say that it looks as though we are progressing through and have not, hopefully not extended ourselves beyond what we're able to achieve. We are slowly ticking the boxes of our outstanding carryovers, and that's very good to see.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Milne.
No, I've got nothing at this stage.
Councillor Warren.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I just noticed, priority 3, our economy, it talks about the solo art night activation, and it indicates that it's on track. My recollection is a sign outside the Donald Caravan Park that the installation of 2 additional cabins at the Donald Caravan Park as part of this particular program. I think we're not actually taking these 2 as a whole. We've filtered out the project that might be lagging behind somewhat, but just an update on where we're at with those cabins, because I see that as not quite hitting the mark. If we're going to call the solo night activation program something at Sea Lake and something at Doddle, but they need to be both together.
Through the Mayor, Councillor Warren, they are both those projects are funded to solo to take a question on notice regarding okay.
Thank you very much.
Any further comments, councillors? Councillor Simpson, right reply?
No, I don't have anything further to add. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillors, we have the motion first second. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. 8.5, reports from councillors. Councillor Hogan, we'll go around your side.
Oh, okay. December seems a long time ago, but we had a very nice end of year celebration at the Vale of Avoca in mid-December, and there were a fair few holidays in between then and the next event. So the Australia Day Eve event in Sea Lake was very successful with some very good speakers and good crowds and very worthy award winners. And then I attended the Australia Day breakfast at Buloke, which was a great little gathering, and the Tyrrell College school leaders induction ceremony on Monday was just lovely. The speeches were by the students were worth the drive. It was a very good little school that has got some very good quality leadership students, students in leadership roles. So yeah, that was my little report.
Thank you. Councillor Pollard.
Just to report that I went to the Australia Day ceremony in Charlton, and I've got to report it to the front office yet, but the sound system in the Shire Hall is only half working, and I had to rush around and get another one sorted so as we could actually hear from both sides, hear everyone in the hall.
Thank you. Councillor Simpson.
Like Councillor Hogan, December seems so long ago. Thank you to staff, Christmas break-up at the Vale, school awards nights, and that I think took me through to Australia Day. So yes, congratulations to the recipients of Australia Day awards, and I think that concludes my activities for the last couple of months.
Thank you. Councillor Milne.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Like many of the other councillors, attended Christmas parties and end of season functions. Somebody's phone ringing, that means I shout hard. A number of Christmas functions, in particularly Korak Christmas each year, where I was able to help them out with a particular job that needed to be done. Since then, we've had the Australia Day activities. As others have said, attended Sea Lake Australia Day, Birchip Australia Day the next morning, and Watcham Australia Day, which was at the lake on the evening of Australia Day, which was sort of half successful and half maybe we do it again, maybe we don't. Just a couple coming up, I guess, and I mentioned this, tomorrow's Grampians Tourism Forum in Horsham, and I can report that the CEO of Grampians, Mark Freeman, does live in Pomona. And I've just heard from David Joe-Hickey that his house was saved, but he lost his shed and his boat. He was a nervous man this afternoon when I was talking to him. He had no idea he was still installed at the Refuge Centre. But a number of other people we know over there have lost their houses. So. And Friday is the AGM for Rural Railroad Alliance in Melbourne. So that will be all I'll report. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Warren.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. It's been, well, as other councillors, we've had a round of very interesting engagement since the last time we met in December. One thing I really want to hone in on and report on is for the last week, as a council delegate and a director of Workspace Australia, we've been working very hard to finalise a significant project in Castlemaine, which is Workspace, was that we leased a part of the old secondary college there from the Alexander Shire, which was an ongoing process over a number of years. That culminated in an application to RDD for $3 million grant funds, which was matched by Workspace Australia $2.5 million from their own funds. That money was used to transform the old tech school into a state-of-the-art incubator. So currently there are spaces for something like 73 new businesses. There are 8 brand new kitchens to accommodate, I suppose, people that want to go into the foodie type area. And this was all achieved within 18 months on time and on budget, which is unheard of in most things for a volunteer board of management. And I suppose the good news for Buloke Shire is that we are a member. We have stake in that with a facility in Dobble, which has 5 units, which Workspace look after. They are fully tenanted. And I know there have been ongoing discussions between Council and Bond 2000 in regard to accommodation for trades off site at the moment. Workspace have indicated they're happy to provide, if you like, guidance expertise to Bond 2000 when push comes to shove. But yesterday it culminated with the launch by the Speaker of the House, Marie Edwards, on site. And I think, well, we're members, but I think it would be good form if we were to write to Workspace and congratulate them on a job well done and perseverance to actually do something in very tight economic times to say job well done, and we are very pleased to be a part of that organisation, which are creating jobs and opportunities for the wider community. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Warren. I did send a report through today, a bit later than I normally do, but I wasn't able to actually see until this morning. But just on my report, same thing, Australia Day. I launched the community plans in Sea Lake and in Kalgoa and Nullarbor. As part of, so I attended those 3 breakfasts and obviously did the Australia Day Eve. There are a number of other things that I've done, but that should come out with the minutes somewhere along the line. I have sent that through. Thank you, councillors. We have to 9.1, notice of motion, of which I have none. 9.2, questions from councillors. Do we have any? Councillor Milk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple to take on notice, I guess. I've had a follow-up call from family members of the Donahue family from Watcham who are looking for a road to be named after their forebears, who were one of the first settlers in Watcham. So that's lot 1 actually in the parish of Watcham. And there's been a road set aside for these people to that they could consider, but it's well out of the area where the family settled. But I'm just looking for an update at some stage on the process where that's up to. And I can report back to that family. There are a couple of other suggestions that they would like to put in, but just need to know where we're up to at this stage. The other one is on behalf of Watch and Progress, which I'm a delegate to see if we can get a resolution on the 3 trees that were set aside for the park, and also the Jubilee tree, whether that's those trees are ongoing, whether they've died in somebody's backyard, they call it. So these park trees were things that were and agreed to some 8 months ago. Still haven't seen them, keen to get them, as well as that Jubilee tree, which was 1 per community, I believe. Yeah. Well, thank you. And a little thank you for providing, and I've got a declared interest here, I guess, providing the video I clean up for the communities around Buloke Shire, wait to the MC, which I had the son work for. But because it's a wider thing, I'm happy to commend the work that was done in that area, because video this year is out of control.
Councillor Hogan.
I'd just like to just raise the fact that we've had an issue in Birchip in Corak Road in relation to some dangerous dogs. There was a further development in that last Thursday, and I think it would be very good if that could be followed up, because it's getting to a stage where it's a very dangerous situation when you've got neighbours arguing with each other over the situation, and I think it's been ongoing now for 3 months and nothing has really developed. So
through the mayor, I wouldn't say nothing has developed. There's been a significant amount of work that's been undertaken by our local laws officers and working with the neighbours and indeed with the resident with the dogs, and we continue to work with them on an ongoing basis.
yeah, that's that. And then I knew there was some work, but I just think it's getting to a stage now where last Thursday was quite a dangerous situation. So could that please be followed up with some urgency? And the other question was, the RSL requested that a tree be in the Birchip Park be taken down, and I'm just wondering what was the progress on that, because it was the pine that wasn't the original pine. So has there been any further advancement on that?
If I can follow up on that, it's rubbing on that new monument, which was a concern if the tree hasn't been taken down to have a branch removed from it. In the meantime, sorry, Bern, at that.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, but I just was concerned that there hadn't been any activity there. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I would through the mail to take that on notice. My understanding that councillors supported a recent application to Birchip RSL in front of that park, and those works as part of that application through, I believe, the state branch of the RSL, the removal of the tree as part of that project.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McLaughlin. Councillors, any other questions? Thank you. 9.3, urgent business, of which we have one, which Councillor Mill will present. Okay.
Mayor, if I may just ask you to call for a motion, a mover and a seconder, that council would hear the urgent business before we proceed.
Councillors, do we have a mover and a seconder to hear the urgent business before we proceed, please?
We move that.
Councillor Warren, seconder. Councillor Hogan, all those in favour? That is carried. Councillor Mill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and the opportunity to present this. So it is an urgent thing and it's a last minute thing. It's a result of storms throughout our shire. It's to do with green waste to assist in storm damage cleanups. The idea is that because of the large storms that hit the Shire yesterday, 13, leaving a significant amount of damage and fallen trees right across the Shire, as well as disrupting essential services. To assist the community in clean-up from the storm, and the proposed council opens its landfills and transfer stations to accept green waste free of charge. The motion, Mr. Mayor, I'll read that out.
Thank you.
The council provides free access to the council's landfill and transfer stations until Sunday, the 31st of March 2024, for the purpose of disposing of green waste to assist in the clean up from the 13th of February 2004 storm, and for ongoing fire preparedness, and to authorise the chief executive officer to extend this period if required.
Thank you, Councillor Mill, and I take it you'll be moving.
I'm happy to move that.
Second, please. Councillor Pollard, thank you. Comments, Councillor Mill?
I think, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think it's astute of the people for this to put it up. It makes a lot of sense that it's available because some areas have got significant damage, as we've heard in Charlton, and others have got minor damage, but it still means that people can get cleaned up and get it out of the road. I think this is something we need to consider further down the track to add to the authorisations of the CEO for something like this to be done automatically. But I think it's something that should be well received by the people.
Thank you, Councillor Mill. Councillor Pollard?
I just think it's good, and as well as that, I think I'd like to thank our staff too for a quick response for them to get in there and assist support their communities in cleaning up.
Thank you. Any other council? So put that motion. So all those in favour? Against? That's carried. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Mill.
Not a worry.
9.4, any other business, which I have none. 9.5, matters which may exclude the public. Council's recommendation that pursuant to section 66(1) and 2A of the Local Government Act 2020, the meeting be closed to the public to consider the following reports that are considered to contain confidential information on the grounds provided in section 3(1) of the Local Government Act 2020 as indicated. Councillors, could I have a mover for that, please? Councillor Pollard, the seconder. Councillor Hogan. All those in favour?
Yep.
That's carried. We do thank the gallery for their attendance, and we will now close the meeting to the public.